completed university, I decided not to work for anyone, but rather find a work for myself. That's to create employment for myself. So I sat down for about 3 months and planned, accumulated some money. Then the idea cropped up to go for clothes from Togo, unisex. Yeah, clothes from Togo, which I started. It was a booming business, and it was a nice experience too. Traveling all the way from Ghana, crossing the border to Togo to get the things and bring them back to Ghana to sell with maximum profits. If you look at the prices of clothes in Ghana and you enter Togo and ask for prices of clothes in Togo, you will marvel, because it seems the price over here in Ghana is just 3 times costive than that of Togo. So it was a nice business. I ventured into it, and then it was a nice journey as well. Almost every week I go for about 2 times. So this fateful day, I had to go to Togo, and then normally I go and then come the next day. But this one, I went and then decided to return the same day because I had an order with the church, which they wanted Lacoste. So I was in a hurry, in a rush to grab that opportunity. So I went to Togo, I made all my purchases, and then as I was returning, it was late. I moved from Togo around 10 p.m. And then from Togo to Accra, I was driving, so I used around 3 hours to reach Accra. So on the way, I passed, how do we call it? Dabala, the Sogakope. On the way, then I saw a pregnant lady stopping me right after a filling station. The lady was standing there, then stopping me. Why a pregnant woman at this time of the night? Well, let me pick her up and see. Maybe she's stranded. So as I picked this lady up, this lady said, "Oh, she's going to the next town. But she has waited for at that side for so long a time. She's not getting car. All the cars she gets are going to Accra Street, and they are not willing to pick her up. So she begs me if I can drop her over there. No problem. I had to pick this lady, and then from that filling station to the next town is a bit far. As we were going, the unfortunate happened. About 5 minutes into the journey from the filling station to the next town, no one spoke to the other, so I decided to initiate the conversation. I asked the lady, why should she travel this late? She said, oh, she went to a herbalist for some herbal medicine, and then the herbalist delayed her, so as she was returning, she found it hard to get a car to her destination. And I said, oh, okay. So we're still going. As the journey was ongoing, this lady, along the bush, this lady said she was light over there. Initially you have told me you are going to the next town, but here we are in the bush and you are telling me you are light here. No. There are no houses, no, even light here. So where are you going? She said she was light there. I said, no, let's go. I have to gather courage and then increase the speed. So I sped off. In about 10 minutes time, I saw a police barrier there. Then I had to stop. Even the police didn't stop me. They wanted me to go. I had to stop and then go to the back to see the policeman and I tell him what has happened. And the policeman said, no, then they have to detain the lady there and then interrogate her a bit because it happens most on the road. So it was the policeman who drew my attention to it that sometimes they have accomplices around the bush. So if you don't know and you fall victim and stop over there, they just come and rush you, then take your belongings. If they don't take your car, they can take your money or even harm you. So they will have to detain the lady there. So I had to leave the lady there and then move to Accra. So the road is not safe. The road is not safe anymore. That's my encounter on the road. So my advice to the drivers and all those who use cars, this is my experience. So if it happens to you, you know how to act. The road is not safe anymore. The road is not safe.
Why is it that you travel at night to go and pick the goods? Is there any special reason that is associated with that? Because mostly what I've realized is that a lot of people that do business like to travel in the night. In your case, you were traveling in the night, you were returning in the night as well. What was the special reason behind it? And secondly, why is it that things in Togo are cheaper than they are in Ghana? What is the special reason behind that one also? And I've heard when you're crossing the border from Ghana to the neighboring country, sometimes the immigration officers sometimes worry you guys a lot, especially when you're dealing, you're going to bring goods into Ghana and all that.
It isn't that we take delight in traveling at night, but you might not know. You see, going to Togo, I set off around 3 a.m. dawn. Then I'll reach Togo around, say, 6, 7. I'll be in Togo. I'll have to take my time and do the necessary shoppings. After the shoppings, I'll have to cross the border with it, come to the customs yard, and come and do duty on all the things, which takes a bit of time. By the time I will finish all these things, it will be around 6, 7. And in my case, I told you I had to bring the things to. In my case, I had to bring the things to a certain church in Ghana here. There was an order and it was urgent, so I had to set off that night. Normally, I usually sleep over and then come the next day, but with this, I had to come that same night. That's why how come I traveled at night. And with the border restrictions and all those things, that's what people have been saying, that if you are entering, they will take you money. If you are coming out, they will take you money. For me, basically, I think it isn't any big deal because the money they are taking is not so huge. Sometimes 20 cedis, crossing 20 cedis and then coming back 20 cedis. Without paying that 20 cedis, you would have to go through a whole lot of processes. Go and check your passport, go and check your yellow fever card, go and check everything. You go a whole lot of things, which is tedious. So if they take that money and they allow you entry, I think I have no problem with that. And again, looking at the things we bring to Ghana, I can go for jeans about 50 pieces. And if I go to the custom yard to do the duty, the money they will take over there, I can pass back and bring these things, cross this border with these things and pay little money on it and then bring the things to Ghana. So for me, I have no problem with that at all. And concerning the prices of goods in Togo, relatively cheaper than that of Ghana, that one, Togo has a very big market, a very, very big market. Yeah, a very big market. If I would say, even in West Africa, they have the biggest market. That's Asigame, the Asigame market. And then a whole lot of producers bring their products over there. So that's how come the prices are relatively cheaper over there. That's what I know. It isn't that they have free port or something of that sort. Just that their taxes are relatively cheaper than that of Ghana. That's bringing things from outside Togo, like from Europe to Togo. You are not going to pay as much as we pay here in Ghana. Say a car like, say Toyota Corolla, bringing that car from Japan to Togo, you are just going to pay, that's 35,000 CFA. No, 350,000 CFA rather. 350,000 CFA to the government, which is around 6,000 or 7,000 there. 6,000 Ghana cedis today to Togo government. But in Ghana, it's not like that. The same model of car, if you bring it to Ghana, you are going to pay a duty of around 30,000 or 35,000 to the government. But Togo isn't like that. You are paying like 35,000 here in Ghana to the government, and you are paying 7,000 in Togo. So that's how it is. Their taxes are relatively cheaper. That's importation taxes are cheaper than that of Ghana.
I've personally heard about the free ports. Personally heard about how things are relatively cheaper in Togo because of their port system, how it operates. And thank you for touching on it and explaining that it is not free port, but just that the government has subsidized the price so that people, importers and investors don't pay much when they are bringing things from outside. So that means Ghanaians who want to enjoy cheaper things can go to Togo and bring those cars into Ghana and then sell them at cheaper prices? Because this Toyota Corolla you're talking about, I'm sure if the person is bringing it from abroad to Ghana and it's, let's say, he bought it over there like 100 cedis and he's paying, let's say, 35,000 in Ghana. Instead of selling that car like maybe 150 cedis in Ghana, that person will end up selling that car like 80,000 Ghana cedis in Ghana, which is way too much for a youth who is working. You understand? You are a businessman, maybe you can afford those cars if it is expensive. But even with that, as a businessman, that's a lot of money that you're paying. So would you say Ghanaians can go into Togo, bring the goods, the cars and things into Ghana and sell them at cheaper prices? And also because you went in there to deal with clothing, you were bringing clothes from Togo to Ghana and you were making a lot of money from it. So if you buy the jeans over there, how much do you sell them in Ghana? How much do you buy them in Togo and how much do you sell them in Ghana?
It's a nice question you've asked, though. It isn't that simple as you are saying, that getting the car from Togo and coming to sell it relatively cheaper here in Ghana, since their taxes are cheap. If you go through these things, that's where you will see that Ghana, we are far behind. The thing is, the Togo government has subsidized the things for those citizens in Togo, not for we Ghanaians. So you can get the car from Europe, pay the taxes in Togo. Now the car is in Togo. The next thing is how to bring the car to Ghana. That's the problem now. You bypass Togo border to the customs, Ghana customs. You bypass Togo customs to Ghana customs. That's where the wahala begins. And the funny thing is that Ghanaians, the Ghana customs are charging you the same duty you have to pay. If you had passed the car through Tema, they will charge you the same thing at Aflawo. You have to pay that same duty there before the car can come to Ghana. So definitely you cannot bring the car and come and sell it at a cheaper price. After paying the duty, the Togo duty for them, that's around the 6,000, 7,000 Ghana cedi to the Togo government. When you bring the car, you reach Aflawo and then you are going to cross to Ghana. The customs over there are going to take you the same duty you have to pay in Tema. They will take you that money. But there are some Ghanaians who are very fast. They can beat the border and pass behind and bring the car to Ghana. That is where you will see that the customs are in town chasing this, they call them Togo cars and all those things. That's how it works. So the citizens of Togo are enjoying so much. There is nothing, I would say Togo has that Ghana doesn't have. But I don't know why Ghana, we are far behind like that. Maybe I think you attribute it to the to our politicians. You attribute it to the corruption within our politicians. That may be the only problem.
You've raised a very interesting point. How some of the Ghanaians or some of the importers that bring cars into Ghana and business into Ghana, what they do, how they smuggle the cars back door, how custom officials also chase them here in Ghana to arrest them. Now, I've also heard there are even roads around northern region, that's Tamale and those places that link directly into Togo. Now, in the process of smuggling, is it not dangerous? Because if you are beating security, sometimes I'm told they're being attacked by armed robbers when they are smuggling the cars. And then also, if the custom officials arrest them here in Ghana, those cars, what happens to them? Do they allow the people to pay the necessary charge that they are supposed to pay? Or the cars now becomes a government property? What happens to those cars? And all this money that we are taking, because imagine if one car, you're paying 35,000 Ghana cedis just at the port to clear your car. Imagine the number of cars that are into Ghana, that come into Ghana on a daily basis. That means the government is making a lot of money. What happens to all these cars?
Okay, about the clothing, let's say a jean you will get around 3,000 safer. That's maybe 60 Ghana cedis. You will come and sell the same jeans in Ghana here, 150 Ghana cedis. So you can calculate the profit margin. At least you will get 2 times of your money. So it's profitable. It's profitable. And that's it. And then with the cars too, you can bring the cars to Ghana. Bringing it to Ghana is very easy. It's very easy. You can pass back door and bring the car to Ghana. But the customs will worry you so much. They can seize the car, and then if they seize the car, you are to pay a penalty on it. A penalty on the duty. Let's use this Toyota Corolla as an example. You bring the car to Ghana. Now Toyota Corolla, say 2012 model, 2013 model, its duty is around 35,000 thereof. So if you smuggle that car into Ghana and then you are caught, you are supposed to pay the duty two times the duty. That's the penalty. You are paying 2 times the duty. You can imagine 70,000 on that car. They will frustrate you in the sense that you will not be able to go for the car again. Then they will auction the car. They say the government will auction the car. They will auction the car to themselves over there. It's very funny. It's very funny, the country we live in.
So after frustrating you, you said they were auctioning the car. They will auction the car to themselves. I thought when you are auctioning something, you're auctioning it to the public, so that at a reduced price. And secondly, this is somebody's property, or this is somebody's goods or business that he has brought into the country. So do they give the person a time frame to be able to pay? And if you are not able to pay before they auction the car so that it leaves the yard, or immediately they start frustrating you and you don't get money, they auction it. And why do they auction it among themselves? Why not the public? Or they auction it and then they themselves come and buy it? Is it how it works? Because I was thinking when you are auctioning something, you're auctioning it for the public to buy. Yeah, I understand that the politician is also part of the public or the citizen. But if you're auctioning something and then the auctioneer is the same person buying it, is that not a bit dubious when it comes to business? Or
once you are found culpable, that's unlawfully bringing the car into the country, you are at fault. So you will be asked to pay the duty, the necessary duty, before you get your car. And once you are caught, you are to pay a penalty, and it is 100% of the duty. You are paying, should I say 100%? 200% of the duty. The main duty times 2. That's what you have to pay before the car will be released to you. Then I cited an example, like look at this Toyota Corolla, with the duty around 35,000. And then you have to pay 35,000 times 2. That's 70,000 of that car. Meanwhile, you can get that same Corolla in Ghana here, 70,000 or even 60,000. So you see how the thing is. They are frustrating you in such a way that you won't even get the money to come and pay for the penalty and the duty and take your car back. And in the long run, what will happen is that they will give you 30 days, barely 1 month, to come and make the payment. If you are not able to make the payment for that 1 month, then the car is now ready to be auctioned. Okay. During the auction too, they will not auction the car to you. They will auction the car to themselves. And at a lower price, they can auction as low as 1,000 Ghana cedi for a car. They're able to auction a car as low as 2,000 Ghana cedi. For that same car, they are asking you to come and pay a penalty and the duty of around 35 times 2. That's 70,000. They will auction that same car to themselves, 1,000 Ghana cedi, 2,000 Ghana cedi. That's what's going on in Ghana. And then about the businesses, doing business over board or across border. Well, I would advise the youth, if you want to do any business, any legit business, then you have to do the clothing. Yeah, venture into clothing. You can go to Togo, buy the clothes, come to the customs, do the necessary duty on the goods you've bought from Togo, and come to Ghana and come and sell. With that, you get your profits. And I think it's legit. It's legit.
let's use the Corolla example again. The duty, let's say, is 35,000, and then maybe you are caught. You smuggled it into the country. You're caught. So penalty, you're supposed to pay times 2, which is around 70,000. And then they give you a short period of 30 days to pay. If you are not able to pay within that short period, they auction the car. Fine. But why are they auctioning the car at a lower price? When instead of auctioning it, yes, auctioning happens around the world. It happens everywhere in the world. But why is it that instead of auctioning it at that lower price, why wouldn't they give you, like, let's say 3 months, 4 months, or even 6 months to be able to gather that money, the penalty and everything, to be able to come and pay? Or have a conversation with you. If you yourself know that you cannot pay, you tell them, and then they go ahead and auction it. But why would they give you a short period, like let's say 30 days, and then 30 days is just around the corner, it will just come like that. And if you are not able to pay, they auction the car as low as 10,000, 1,000 Ghana cedis, 2,000 Ghana cedis. Why is it so, please?
For that one, that question, it will be hard for me to answer because initially they have decided to frustrate you so that you won't be able to pay for the car. Look at the car with the duty around 35,000. And then even the whole car, if you are to buy that car in home use car like that in Ghana here, you can get that car around 60,000. Now you have bought the car from Togo. You didn't do the duty and you are in this country. Maybe even buying the car alone is costing you around 30,000. Oh. Now you are asked to pay, you have been caught, so you are asked to pay 2 times the duty, which is around 70,000. Add that 30,000 to the 70,000, that's 100,000. Meanwhile, that car itself is sold 60,000 for its home use in Ghana here. So no rational human being or no rational person will do that, will follow that car and go and pay that duty for the car. What they have to do is that they should reduce the duty for you. Maybe if it's 35,000, they can even let's give you the same duty, you pay the duty and take your car away. That one would have been even better. But they will give you a penalty that you won't be able to pay, and then a short time frame for you to pay. And if you're not able to do so, they auction the car to themselves. It all boils down to corruption in the country.
I have been a victim of this before, and then it is very sad. It's very, very, very sad. What goes on over there? It's very sad. The country we live in. The little advice I can give any prospective car buyer is that the person should go through the documents very well and check whether the car was genuinely cleared from the port before any payment should be made. And by so doing, you can go to any nearby DVLA to cross-check the documents very well. You take the chassis number and go and check the path through which the car entered the country. They can get you every information over there. It's best that way, because I wouldn't be happy for anyone to go through what I went through. It's a very sad thing. Thank you.